One of mine too.
And you're unmuted. So you-
We're unmuted.
Recording in progress.
Sorry. Okay, we're gonna start the Mount Anthony Union High School District Number 14 Board of Directors meeting. Today is Wednesday, January 21st. It's 5:32. The first item on the agenda is public comments. But no screen. We will move into the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, warrants, retirements, resignations, and nominations as presented?
So move.
A motion by Scott, second by Dave. Any discussions? All in favor? Okay, move on to finance. The River Charities Incorporated, which is a donation, for reports. Renee, do you want us to just pull from the packet and approve it, or is there something that you wanna?
Nothing specific. It's just a donation, that came in that was specifically identified to be used for sports. We had and it came from the same law office as, Ben Win Charities. They also donated the same amount or similar amount in years past.
Okay,
So, the thought was that I think there's actually still some money left in that account. So if the board approves that, we'll just commingle the funds, and let Mike know that he's got those funds available.
okay, great. Can I have a motion to approve the donation from River Charities Inc. For $4,000 for the use of sports?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dave, second by Scott. Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Okay, we'll move on to Cove Charitable Trust donation. Looks like it's for the Holocaust field trip. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up my.
Yes, and this is money that Jen Wells White gets every year. The amounts have varied, but it supports the trip, I think, to the city.
Can I have a motion to approve the donation of $12,000 to support the Holocaust trip?
so moved.
Motion by Dave,
A second.
second by Katie. Any discussion?
Is the trip separate from the other thing that we?
Yes.
Okay. So do we know that it's going toward the trip and not the expenses of the other experience?
This is for the trip to go to New York City. The next one is to support a mobile field trip to come to
Right.
campus.
Okay,
So,
just
yeah.
didn't know if it was still up in the air as to how the funds would be used, if it was a choice. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we move on to the MSHEF grant, Hates Ends Now. This is to support a mobile field trip coming to us. Is that correct, Renee?
Yeah, so it would be to support the cost to bring that here to us, to campus. High school.
Great. Can I have a motion to approve the donation? It's like is the donation $5,000?
So moved.
It's I'm pretty sure.
Is
it's
it,
1,000.
is 1,000? Okay, sorry. I've got the hate.
5,000.
The cost is 5,000 for, okay. Can I have a motion to approve the $1,000 donation? Motion by Dave,
Second.
second by Beth. Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Okay,
Just a real quick point.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
transparently. So, it is coming to the high school, but Adam and I are exploring the possibility of some middle school eighth graders in particular, going to be part of it.
oh, great.
So I just wanted to share that.
And then historically, when we receive donations, do we have the clerk write a letter to thank the organization
Be nice.
for it?
We have in some instances, but I don't know that we have in all.
like consistently?
Yeah.
Sure. Is that something that needs a motion or can we just
I don't think so. You can just
ask the
The clerk. Happy to do it. Just need
to get the information? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. We will move on to, review and approve the annual meeting warning.
You want me to pull this up?
That would be great if you could.
With me for just 1 second, because I have a lot of stuff open on my computer.
Just a piece of information.
Thank you very much.
Renee, is this a good spot where we can connect it to the one pager that folks have in front of them?
Thank you.
But I won't get in the way of, let's do this first, then we can talk about the handout.
Okay, I think historically, we've read the entire warning, Renee, or do we just need to the motion to approve it?
You can probably make a motion to waive the reading of it into the record. And
Okay,
I mean, it's part of the packet, so it's been published. And just for your informational purposes, the meeting ID link for the Zoom link is accurate. It has been created so that those details are there. We have moved the floor meeting time up. So from previous years, we were kind of stacked pretty tightly between SVU, ESD, Mount Anthony, and Southwest Tech. So we backed those times up. Mount Anthony will be first here at 5:30. UED will be at 5:45. And then that gives folks enough time to migrate out to either other towns if they're going to other floor meetings, or those that are going to Southwest Tech, and then head over to the Bennington Firehouse. They are going to be at 6:30 prior to the town of Bennington starting at 7. Everything else is pretty much standard. I had our new district clerk review this to confirm the seats and make sure that they are the correct length of terms. And then everything else is just the boilerplate. You've got your budget warning, which we had talked about how the wording is required by statute. So even though the budget that you approved is a 4% increase over the current year's expenditure budget, we have to list for voters what that looks like in terms of education spending per weighted pupil. And we know that our weighted pupils have decreased, so our costs have increased. Thus, you're seeing a 12.6% number in the language that has to be there for the budget. And then the polling places are there. These are all the same as they were last year. Just everybody's signatures.
great. Can I have a motion to waive the reading of the meeting or of the warning, and have it, I mean, and the warnings in the packet, right? With the,
And then we'll just adopt, and then we need to adopt it.
I definitely motioned.
okay, thank you. A motion from Sandy. Second from Kristen, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the warning of the annual meeting of March 2nd and 3rd of 2026? As presented in the packet this evening.
So moved.
Motion by Scott,
I'll second.
second by Katie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So the signature spots, you just have to thumb through to find most everything is in alphabetical order after the officers. Just label there, thank you. Tim, I know you wanted, I don't,
So that we created a sheet, this came out of just observing some board conversations and hoping to. This is an attempt to give board members some information that you can use when you're talking to community members. And this is our first go around, so happy to hear feedback. These are specific to, we made one for Arlington, we made one for the ESD, we made one for MAU. First box is your current expenditure budget and the increase, which you see 4.0. What you see next is Article C, which you just approved. So the pupil cost spending and the increase. And then we thought it might be helpful. Why is the projected tax increase greater than the school budget increase? And it's two pieces, fewer students, lower common level of appraisement. The bar graph will show you information over time of the number of students being reduced. And then the common level of appraisement by town within our district and the tax rate as you go across. We also thought it'd be helpful for other considerations. Health insurance, which has really not been a part of the educational conversation. We thought it might be helpful for you to know that the gold plan underneath health insurance in 2018, the family plan would have been $17,394. In 2026, it is estimated to be $43,920. And that is used by a vast majority of public school employees across the state. So you can see the expenditure. And then one other thing, the last year, the governor and the legislature approved a $100 million buy down, which temporarily lowered our property tax rates, but it artificially lowers tax rates, which causes the next year to, on average, go higher. So those are two pieces of information to share with the community as you go forward. Like I said, we've provided one of these for each of the three boards with schools operating within them.
And the health insurance is not something that this board negotiates. This was something that was taken by the state several years ago.
That is
It's
correct.
out of our control.
Yeah, and the rate is, I guess, what would be negotiated would be the employer, employee or contributing share. The rates are set by the Vermont Education Health Initiative and submitted to the Department of Financial Regulation at the state, so that it gets reviewed at the state level. And we just got word this week that those rates have been approved. So what we did end up including in the budget is good. But yeah, it's jumped substantially.
Are there any questions on what they? This looks great.
We can post those to the website too. So if that helps you as you are walking around the community, hey, you can jump online, you can print your own copy of that. Just wanted to share it with the board first. We didn't want to get out ahead of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's great. We'll move on to operations. In the packet, there is an elevator bid with. Let me just go over it and we can. Are you? Is there
Yeah,
anything special with it?
so another board has covered this as well.
Yeah.
So this goes to servicing and inspecting the elevator. So there's a recommendation to go forward with.
Can I have a motion to approve the recommendation for the elevator service bid to award a 12-month maintenance contract to Mack Brothers Elevator in the amount of $4,140?
So
Motion by Scott, second by Beth. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Okay, great. There are no policies, so we'll move on, and no student representatives this evening, so we'll move on to the high school's administrative report.
Thank you. Yeah, so unfortunately, our student representatives had prior conflicts tonight, so we'll miss their attendance, but happy to speak to the high school highlights from the past month here. So focus on our first semester closed this past week on Friday, January 16th. So a strong finish for our staff and students. The second semester began this week, Tuesday, January 20th. So lots of activity in the building this week with students figuring out their new schedules, finding their new teachers, meeting them, making those new connections, helping them find their way. Report cards will be mailed out next week for the first semester grading period. Map testing is underway right now at the high school for 9th and 10th grade students in English and math. We're doing that throughout the month. With the start of the second semester, we are revisiting and reinforcing our cell phone policy across the school with staff and students. Encouraging the use of the Yonder bags and getting ourselves ready for full and consistent implementation by certainly next school year to align with Vermont state law. Winter sports continue to go well. There are 7 teams continuing to compete. One highlight that I do want to bring attention to, one of our student athletes, Ella Palisano, who set a new high jump state record of 5 feet 9 inches earlier this month at the indoor track state championships. So very proud of Ella for beating the previous record holder, which is Ella Palisano, 5'7" inches. So she continues to just raise that bar figuratively and literally. I'm sure Ohio State will be happy to have her join their team next year. Looking ahead, we have our next half day coming up on Wednesday, February 11th, with staff attending professional learning in the afternoon for a district data day. February break, reminder of those dates coming up from February 23rd through the 27th. And one thing I forgot to mention, big event tonight at the high school taking place with the high school music department. We have a band concert. The MAU Jazz Band is performing. We have some solo performers tonight. And some chamber singers performing. That's at 7 p.m. if you're able to attend that. Meeting here this evening. And I would just like to finish out my report by acknowledging what I believe everybody is probably aware of. It's been a rough week for the MAU community and specifically our wrestling community. And I just want to take this moment to thank families, faculty, staff, students, and the community for all the support that we've received as our wrestling team, our school, and our entire MAU community has been going through a very difficult time. I do want to extend special thanks to the coaches and the players, the wrestlers on the team, for their outstanding commitment and support of each other throughout the weekend and throughout this week and returning to school. I also want to give special thanks to our athletic director, Mike Malloy, who really just navigated the entire situation and was the point person in contact between the team and all of us back here throughout the events of the weekend. I can't express enough how amazing of a job he did supporting both aspects, like both ends of that situation. So I want to extend the gratitude to our clinical team at the high school who've come in to support the wrestling team specifically before their return to school. Met with them Monday afternoon, continued to support them and the rest of our staff and students returning to school on Tuesday, as well as our counselors and our central office team, including Tim and Katie West as our communication with the outside world. So I appreciate everybody's support as we continue to support our staff, our students, our coaches, our wrestlers, and their families going through this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments before we move on to middle school?
I appreciated your message. Spoke Carmichael to the high school community. I think that was, you know, proactive and was needed, and I would just echo your sentiments that the whole team, you know, handled this as best they could, right? And we'll keep the athletes and their families in our thoughts.
We move on to the middle school.
Yeah, sure. I just, you know, tough to jump in and, you know, give a principal's report at this moment, but I'll keep moving forward with that, but, you know, I appreciate you and, leading the crew with Mike and others, through all that, so, thank you. Okay, so I do have some, some positive things to share. You probably remember that we do a winter carnival at the middle school every year, and that date has been set. And we're scheduled to do the winter carnival on March 7th. I know it's still winter actually, technically at that point, I think, right? Maybe, yes. But anyways, March 7th is the date. It's 10 to 2 at the middle school. It's been a growing, increasingly attended and kind of sought after event. You know, a lot of folks from the community come and attend, a lot of younger children, come and really look forward to attending it. It's a fundraiser for teams in the school and also the PTSA. So I just encourage people to check it out, and if you have friends and family and kiddos that might be interested in coming, there'll be a lot of middle school teachers hanging out, a lot of middle school staff hanging out, a lot of middle school students. And it's a fun time. So that's March 7th, 10 to 2. I'm gonna just talk about testing for a moment. I'm trying not to live in this, world all fully, but I got a couple dates to share. And that is for our state testing, the VT cap. We're scheduled to do our ELA test on the 17th and 18th of March, and the math test on the 24th and 25th of March. And we are also the lucky recipients of doing NAEP testing, which I've already shared with the board, so I won't dig into that too far, but that date is set for February 18th, and I'm going to take every opportunity that I can to thank Rachel Kipp publicly, because she is the testing coordinator at Mount Anthony Middle School, and she really is, needs to get credit for doing the vast majority of the work. And I meet with her, and she is a taskmaster, and she gets stuff done, and she goes off and always meets all the deadlines. And there is a lot of behind. I would say there's a lot of behind the scenes tasks involved with testing and testing security, and making sure you have certain documentation in the testing system. So I thank her for that, and also Stacy Alexander, my associate director of student services that works at the middle school, has also been a really helpful person in orchestrating this. So some testing dates coming up. I will give a brief plug for this, and then I'll come back and share more about our Patriot Challenge Day. Usually, wow, this is in the spring. Mr. Payne's going to come up into the dunk tank this year. We didn't talk about that. Right? I just dropped that. We didn't have
Untold.
conversations about that. Yeah, but I've been in that, and you probably have too, actually, right? Yep. So we're gonna invite him back for a cameo there, but yeah, that's on. We've decided to break the day into 2 parts, actually. So it's going to be 2 separate days. We do a survey every year. We got a lot of feedback from students, staff. This was feedback from a lot of the teachers. And we also thought, after a pretty arduous stretch of testing, we thought it'd be nice to have Patriot Challenge Day at the end of March. So we're going to do half of it on the 27th of March. It's going to be a half day in the afternoon. And that is, if you've ever been to Patriot Challenge Day, it's a big team building, kind of think of like a focused field day, a lot of team building activities. There are, some awards given at the end of it. It's a pretty awesome day. It's always my favorite day of the year. So I definitely encourage you to come check it out. Let me know if you'd like to do that. We'd love to have some honorary guests. afternoon of the 27th, we're gonna be doing the team cheer and the lip sync battle, which is the whole school, all 500+ kids and everybody there, in the gymnasium. You can't put it into words, Mr. Payne, you've experienced it. It's one of those things you just gotta be there to experience it. And then we're gonna do the second half of that day on May 22nd, which is more of a typical time that we do Patriot Challenge Day. And that is when we're gonna do our normal morning activities. That's when you really get into the team building activities. We've done it most recently in like Amazing Race sort of format, where advisories travel to different stations, and then, you know, whoever completes it at the end is kind of the champion. There's some, prizes and things. So those are just some really fun events that just really nice to see a community of, I'll say about 600 people when you have all of, staff, students and everyone, and just, smiling and having a good time and kind of remembering what it's all really about. So I'll do another plug for that. I know it's not an academic day, so to speak, but that's the work that gets our kids to a place where they can do the academics that we want them to do. So it's really important for middle school. Just do a quick highlight of an after-school program, the Hype Squad, and then I have a request for the board, which is a request I've said before, but I wanted to just bring it back. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but the Hype Squad is a new after-school program where they focus on doing kind of positive messages, different signage around the building. It's really a big focus on like school culture. I had a student council, 8th grade student council president, along with some members of his crew, the student council crew, come talk to me and want to do a student section in the middle school gym for basketball games and possibly for future sporting events as well. So we've connected the Hype Squad with that, and the Hype Squad is helping with some signage and posters and things like that. So it's kind of cool to have like the student council come to me with a leadership idea, and then kind of having the pieces come together. We're an after-school program. Some kids are working on it there, and student council's working on making it happen, communicating with Tracy Galley, the middle level, assistant AD, and it's just kind of a cool thing that's coming together. Just wanted to share that. My request for the board is that I would love to, and through Mr. Payne, whomever, to have a date that I could bring Kelly Brooks, my site coordinator for the after school program, and possibly some students to the board to just kind of showcase some things. I met with Kelly the other day, and he was like, when am I gonna be able to come to the board? I got a folder already. I got stuff. Like, so he's like, wants to come, he's ready to go, and he wants to showcase some of the cool things happening. So I'd love to bring them, and then you can, listen to them rather than me talk through the principal's report the whole time. So that would be really fun. And then another positive event that you kind of put me into when you were talking about your report, on February 11th, which is coming up, we have a MAP growth celebration that we've done annually for the last 3 years or so. And we basically have a big event, a knockout game. There's some new this year, some arts and crafts opportunities and things like that. Again, feedback from students that, not everyone wants to participate in the knockout game. So we have some other alternatives. And basically we celebrate students students being successful in meeting their math growth score. And so no student is turned away from the celebration. Everybody participates, but you get certain incentives and participation that you can do for reaching your math growth number. So that's another kind of cool community activity that we do that's coming together. I do want to share with the board that coming back from the December break, I decided to have grade level assemblies with my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade student bodies respectively. And the purpose of the assemblies was kind of to go over, it was, with me, and they lasted for a block, a class block. And we went over expectations coming back to school. We talked about, school rules, expectations in the building, in different settings that we have outlined in our PBIS plan. So, the cafeteria, the hallway, bathrooms, classrooms. To a T, the kids did a great job engaging in the assemblies. And, we did talk about how, behavior impacts the ability to do things like dances and other, after school activities and things like that. And, I think I know that we were really clear with students about what we needed to see from them in these different settings. And so I think it was a good way to start, the new year off and the new, coming back to school in the new year. And I'm optimistic. I think that, it was very well received from the students. Obviously, you're pulling them together. You're, trying to create a positive experience coming back in, but, sometimes there's tough conversations that need to be had. And I think it was, kind of kept it with a positive twist, but, made really clear for students, what we needed to see and what was expected of them. So that resetting, I'm optimistic about that resetting of expectations. And just wanted to share that with the board. So that is, I think that's all. That's what I have tonight.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Very great idea to have students with Mr. Brooks.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, and if we knew that students were going to be here, maybe we could invite the banner. We've talked a lot about, at the SVSU level and MAU about bridging that gap with the community and talking about all of the great things that are happening at our
Yeah.
schools. And so it seems like that's a really
Yeah,
perfect opportunity.
yeah, we would love to, just let us know and we'll get Mr. Brooks, and I'm pretty confident he can help us round up some involved, eager students that want to share.
That, I was thinking about this, the March meeting is the reorganization meeting. I don't know how.
April would be a good
April.
choice.
That's
a good choice. May will be very busy.
2, 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, April is not, normally April falls during break, but I guess it's the week of. Or.
Yeah.
This year, I think
Because the 20th.
the break is the week of the 20th. Yeah, so it would.
Why don't we know?
What we planned, Renee? So April meeting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll figure it
plan.
out for you,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you.
That sounds good.
Look forward to that.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
I'll make mine really quick. I want to thank, we have a new principal at the high school this year. And Mike is relatively new in his position as athletic director. And no one wishes upon your first year in the position to have to deal with, crisis or an incident. I got a phone call from the athletic director Saturday evening informing me first of the wrestling team. He got off the phone, and we got a phone call from the bus company because we had a bus slide off the road from a different team. And to watch, Mike kept us updated all evening, being able to inform the board in relatively quick time. Communications throughout Sunday. Is everybody home? Is everybody accounted for? Because we have 2 teams traveling. The decision making, having principals reach out and having the AD, what do you think? And seeing good teamwork around when do you message to your community? When do you message to your staff? Organizing supports for a team that, needs support to start a new semester. So you lining up clinicians and counselors to be available, then making a plan, because Adam then met his entire staff Tuesday morning before the start of school on the first day of second semester. So I just want to say personally, as the superintendent, I want to thank Adam Carmichael and Mike Malloy for an outstanding job. I also want to thank my colleagues. Superintendent of both Hoosick Falls and the BRSU reached out to me over the weekend, extending their concerns and condolences, not condolences, their well wishes, and also offering support. So we appreciate colleagues in the area being supportive of the effort. I would remind folks, we still have students and staff who are recovering, making progress. So we ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers. This is a long-term process. So I want to recognize that in front.
Any ESU report for this evening? Yeah. For the chair's report, one update is we were supposed to have negotiations last night. I think that we scheduled, I don't think we have a date yet, so we don't have any additional negotiations information this evening. And other than that, I was going to echo you, but I think that the entire wrestling community and student body and community is in our thoughts, and hope for everybody's rapid recovery. The communication was, great. I understand that, in times like this, communication ripples through the community almost faster than it can, like through, channels as ours. I think that, we, were made aware rather rapidly, and I appreciate that. So. And I believe that is it for the evening. We do not have a meeting in February. Is that still accurate, or are we having?
I will have to update the chair as there is a student issue that we may have to address as a board, and I can
Okay.
set your calendar and follow up with board members.
Okay, so we may have a meeting, but it will be one item meeting.
One item.
And other than that, make sure everyone remembers to get their petitions in. If they're running again.
The due time for that, Renee?
End of
Monday.
business on Monday.
Yep.
Office closes at 4:30.
Yes.
By statute, it's 5 o'clock, but you better have it to keep.
Yeah, she might not.
I don't want you to be frustrated if you show up at 4:45.
And there's FYI in the packet, there's a budget status report, the treasurer's report, which I'm not sure, and the board members' conflict of interest as an FYI. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Scott. Second by Dave. All in favor? Thank you.
But travel safely.
Yeah, the wind sounds.
Recording stopped.
Really, I have. Oh.